after 3 days, on the fourth day, I woke up and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm not obsessing and thinking about death, dying, in heaven. And I thought, oh, it's going to come. And the day went on and I had clear thoughts. I didn't go back to that place. And so I continued on and the next day, and still none of those thoughts. I mean, I'm sure I had one or two, but nothing like, I was experiencing.
Greetings, hello, and good day wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining Truehope Cast, the official podcast of Truehope Canada. My name is Simon and I am your host. Truehope Canada is a mind and body based supplement company that is dedicated first and foremost to promoting brain and body health through non-invasive nutritional means. Now, more than ever, people are looking for ways to support their brain health, and this is a huge part of what we're doing at Truehope Canada. For more information about us, you can visit truehopecanada.com. As always, we have another charming, lovely guest with us today. Her name is Stephanie Hall, and Stephanie is the category manager at Nature's Fair Market here in British Columbia. Stephanie has been interested in natural health for most of her life and has worked in the natural health industry for over 30 years. Stephanie is also a holistic nutritionist, chartered herbalist, and sports nutritionist. Her current job with Nature's Fair primarily includes the responsibility of all supplement and body care product listings. And if you've been into any good health store, supplementation is always an incredibly important part. And getting the right products on your shelves is vital for helping customers naturally support their health. I've got a store just down the road from me in Kamloops, literally a couple of minutes away, and it's just the most beautiful store, stocked up with everything you might need. And I always find myself wandering around the supplement section multiple times a week because they just carry all the best products. They actually carry the whole Truehope Canada product line, something that we're really proud about, and it's a really wonderful partnership. But let's introduce you to Stephanie. Thank you very much for joining us today, Stephanie. First question, as always, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and thank you for having me, Simon.
Beautiful. Thank you for being with us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey through the natural health world?
Okay. Well, personally, I'd had a challenge with my own health many, many years ago. And whilst I was actually working in the banking industry, and that caused me to start to take a closer look at my own habits. And so the more I looked into my own health habits, I started to make changes. I started to see incredible results. And I became more and more passionate. And I wanted to share what I was learning and doing in my own life with other people. I decided to leave the financial industry and do kind of a career change and started working in the natural health industry. I started working with practitioners. Actually, a medical doctor was my first stint. He had actually opted out of the medical, I'm not sure how to put this politically correctly, but he started to introduce naturopathic and holistic type products and remedies into his medical practice. So I worked with him, and then I worked for a couple of naturopaths, and then I started to work in natural health food stores. And I opened up some health food stores. I managed some health food stores. And I also went on the road selling supplements to health food stores. So I've kind of done all sorts of things. And then also, I wanted to gain more and more knowledge so that I could help more and more people. And I thought the best way to go about that would be by increasing my education. So I started taking courses, and that's when I decided to become a holistic nutritionist. And then from there, I got fascinated by herbs and studied herbalism, became a chartered herbalist. And then in my own life, I like to work out. So I thought, well, I need to understand supplements. So took sports nutrition and also actually studied homeopathy. So I just love natural health. I love to help people, empower people onto their natural health journeys. And I've just seen the wonderful effects in my family and friends' lives as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. It sounds like, it sounds like you've got the perfect job considering your background. If you go into any decent health food store, the vitamin section can often be, for somebody who doesn't know what they're looking for, incredibly daunting, because you've got thousands of different bottles, many different companies, and in my experience as well as a nutritionist, not every company out there is doing a really great job when it comes to the products that they put on the shelves. So having somebody like yourself with such vast experience with sports nutrition, with herbs, because a lot of those products on the shelves are a herbal constituents, and also the nutritional aspect as well. So I feel great that you're putting products on the shelves of Nature's Fair, and that people are getting what they need. And as I say, like, not every company puts brilliant products out there, but I trust that you're getting the right ones on there. And as I visit the store many, many times, I can attest to that for sure. How's it been working? How's it been working with Nature's Fair Markets? How long have you been there for?
I've been here over 3 years, and I've done a couple of different jobs. Within those 3 years, I actually managed a vitamin department, which was great exposure in Nature's Fair, which sort of bridged this position for me. Working with Nature's Fair has been an absolute fabulous experience. I love the people that I work with. I love the organization that I work for. I feel that all the people that are employed by Nature's Fair seem to have the same passion and the same vision. We all want to help people on their health journeys. I have great respect for our CEO. He's a visionary, and he's also passionate about natural health, and he listens and he hears and he gets the job done. He really helps to empower the staff. I feel like we're a family. We really care about each other. And that's so important, especially for right now. It's always important, but maybe even more important for what is going on right now in the world. So that you can go to work and be in a safe place where you can share with one another and you care about each other. And then that spills over for the customers, and they know that we care. We care about each other and we care about them. I feel that Nature's Fair is a very conscientious company as well. We care about the environment. We are a very giving company. We give to lots of different local businesses, nonprofit organizations. We help to feed many people that might not be able to get their meals and their foods in different ways. And we also are a company that walks with integrity. And that's really important. I have worked for many years, 3 decades in this industry. And I made a decision some time ago that I would not align myself with a company or people that didn't have the same integrity as I. And so I'm so thankful to be at Nature's Fair for that reason. It's been a great experience, and I'm looking forward to more years with Nature's Fair.
Wonderful. Yeah, it sounds like a great place to be. And actually, just the vibe going to my local store, you've got beautiful people working there who are genuinely passionate to be there and want to serve and want to help. And you can, I don't know, personally, I can feel that type of environment. I think most people can. They go into a specific environment and they actually feel kind of that warmth and that good energy. And yeah, everything you're talking about, from the CEO all the way down, everybody's there with integrity and passion to be there and to help people, which is wonderful. We started this podcast to discuss the many areas within mental health that just need really to be opened up and talked about. In your experience as a practitioner and buyer for Nature's Fair, what role do you think does nutritional supplementation have in supporting people's mental health, be that mild stress or something more severe, such as a diagnosis of ADHD or depression or anxiety, etc.?
Well, nutritional supplementation takes a prominent role because, of course, even now, more and more so, we're starting to understand there's a huge connection between the gut and the mind. And it's all starts with what you put into your body. And if you put in the right things, the right nutrition, you're going to have a healthy gut and hopefully a healthy or healthier mind. We also know today that the food that we eat is just not nutritionally compact like how it was years ago. I know myself, I keep trying to search for that tomato that tasted how it did when I was young. And it's like, well, maybe I have a warped perception of how that tomato used to taste, but things don't taste the same. And they're not as nutritionally dense. And that's largely because the soil, we know, is very much deprived from minerals. And so the food we eat that's grown in the soil today is also deprived from minerals. When we eat those foods, then now we're deprived of minerals. And minerals are very, very important. They play a major role in our health and a major role, I believe, in our mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember going into my nutritional degree, and then the topic of supplements came up, and I'd never really taken them, and I was just thought, like, I eat really well, and I drink lots of water, and I don't need to take anything to supplement my diet. And then you start to learn about the soil and about the extreme toxic loads that literally didn't exist 20, 30, 100 years ago. So I don't think anybody can afford not to be on the right supplements for them. And that's when, working with or going to a local store and talking with the very experienced individuals there about getting the right thing, right product, right dosage for you. Because, yeah, as you say, supplementation plays a huge role in everybody's lives, whether that's somebody experiencing a particular pathology or somebody who is just looking to kind of maintain their health. What is your what's your experience with Truehope Canada? Can you recall the first time it came across your radar?
Well, that's a great question. I actually do remember very well. I was actually working in a health food store down on the coast in Vancouver area. And a woman came in and was looking through the store, and I asked her if I could help her. And she said, yes, I'm looking for your Truehope EMP product. And I said, wow, we don't carry that. Tell me more. And she says, oh, well, you have to have it because I have to have it. And I said, well, tell me more. And so she started to explain to me how this product had completely changed her life. And she expressed, in detail what had happened and spent quite a bit of time with me sharing. And anyways, we concluded that at that time it wasn't actually sold in retail. And off she went. And as she left, because she was determined to buy that, I couldn't sell her anything else. Absolutely not. And then I started to do my own investigation, and I looked up online all about Truehope, and I was, oh my goodness, we need to have this product. And it was shortly after that it came into the retail world. I suppose it was being worked on at that time, unbeknownst to me. And very soon after that, it was available, and I started selling it and promoting it to customers.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And just for people who aren't familiar with our flagship product, EMP Power Plus, it's gone through many different stages in its processing since, I think, 25 years ago was the original product. And EP Power Plus, it's a superior broad spectrum micronutrient supplement, which is designed to provide you with the essential cofactors of life that we rely upon on a daily basis for maintaining mental and physical well-being. Do you actually have any personal experience in taking the product?
I do, and I'm so shocked at what happened in my own life, quite honestly. And so I was selling the product for quite a few years, helping lots of people. The product was, not me. And I'm so thankful and I'm blessed with good mental health. I haven't had a lot of challenges that I've seen some of my friends and even family go through. Haven't been challenged with depression. But what happened was my mother, who I dearly love and very close to, and helped her in her last 6 years of her life. She came to live with us. She passed away. And I don't know what happened, but I became, for lack of a better word, shall say, I became obsessed with death, dying, and heaven. And I was consumed with death, dying, and heaven. And I don't mean that I was in any way suicidal. So they weren't necessarily negative thoughts or dark thoughts, but they were certainly deep thoughts. And I couldn't stop these thoughts. I don't ever remember a time in my life where I couldn't stop thoughts. When I wake up, I think about death, dying, and heaven. And throughout the day, it would just be whirring around in my mind. And I couldn't stop it. I tried everything that I knew how to do. And I couldn't stop these thoughts. And these persisted for quite some time. And then at that time, I was actually working in a somewhat of a natural pharmacy, and the sales rep for Truehope at the time came in. And we didn't actually carry Truehope at that time, but I was in the process of bringing it in. That's why we were having that meeting. So she came in, and we were deciding how to bring the products in and all of that. And then up in the conversation, I started to share with her about these thoughts. And she said, "Oh my goodness, Stephanie, you need to try Truehope." And I said, "Oh, for that?" And she said, "Yes." And so I said, "Okay." So I got my bottle, and I started taking 2 capsules 2 times a day. And after 3 days, on the 4th day, I woke up and I thought, "Oh my goodness, I'm not obsessing and thinking about death, dying, and heaven." And I thought, "Oh, it's going to come." And the day went on, and I had clear thoughts. I didn't go back to that place. And so I continued on, and the next day, and still none of those thoughts. I mean, I'm sure I had 1 or 2, but nothing like, I was experiencing. And so I went through the entire bottle, and I felt great. And I even felt better than before. I always thought I felt great, but now I even felt even better. And so I finished off the bottle, and I thought, okay, I guess I'm good. I'll go back and find another multivitamin. That's good. And so I found one that I'm also very fond of. And in about less than a week's time, all these thoughts started flooding back in my mind, and I couldn't control it once again. And I thought, oh my goodness. So I went back, bought some more EMP, went on the product again. I remained on that product for, I can't recall exactly, but many months. I'd say at least 8 to 10 months. And then I thought, well, I'm going to try the experiment again. And I changed to a different multivitamin, and never had those thoughts again. I mean, I often think about my mother and heaven in a wonderful way, but I don't have those obsessive thoughts anymore. And I attribute that to EMP, absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I think whenever anybody goes through something of significant trauma that's really close to home, like a death in the family, it certainly triggers and sparks different areas of the brain and different thoughts. And when it's coupled with such high levels of emotion, it can be very difficult to control it, as you mentioned. And those thoughts ruminate, they become more strong, those pathways in your brain become reinforced, and it can be very difficult to change that way of thinking. And obviously there's a difference between thinking about those types of things and then thinking about the positive memories of your mother. And so many people go through their own tragedies and traumas, and again, they do suffer these reoccurring thoughts that really completely change somebody's internal state. They start feeling differently, behaving differently. And I'm so happy that you're able to find that product, or that product found you at the right time. Yeah.
I'm so thankful that I actually went through that, because what that did, I mean, I believe that we go through things so that we can, of course, help ourselves be better people, but more importantly than that, so that we can go and then help other people. And so that really opened up another avenue that I'd never thought about in recommending that product for people. So when customers were coming in and sharing things similar, I would now start recommending EMP for that, where I wouldn't have prior to that. So it was really shall I say, a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, such a wonderful product for people who are experiencing experiencing some really high levels of stress, or even just that something new and like low level, and just want to kind of get their thoughts under control, because we know that our thoughts can really change how we feel and change our behaviors and really change our personalities in ways that we may not think authentic to our true selves. Have you recommended EMP Power Plus to anybody else?
You mean anybody else besides all the consumers that I've waited on for years?
Yeah, maybe someone like maybe a friend or family.
Oh, so many. So many people. Yes, I'd say 70% of my family's on EMP. Wow. And for various reasons. I've recommended EMP for a lot of my friends down in Vancouver. I don't currently live in Vancouver, but I used to. And many, many people down on the coast really are challenged with seasonal effectiveness disorder. And I've actually recommended EMP for that to friends. I've actually recommended EMP to a lot of the staff of Nature's Fair. Now, don't misunderstand me. The staff are healthy, fine, and they love working at Nature's Fair. But as we know, and particularly this last year has been a challenge for many, many people. And then a lot of the staff would come to me or other vitamin employees and just say, what would you recommend? And our go-to is always EMP for mental health and clear mind, clear thinking. And even I recommend EMP to people who are just looking for a very well-rounded multivitamin. This, because of the formulation of the multivitamins and minerals, particularly the minerals, it just makes sense to be on this rather than a lot of the other multivitamin minerals that are out there in the marketplace.
Absolutely, yeah. As you say, it's broad spectrum micronutrient, and you don't have to be going into a supplement store with a particular concern or an issue. It can be something that's really helpful for maintaining your health.
I hope I can say this. I actually recommended EMP for my daughter, and my daughter is actually pregnant as we speak, due to deliver any moment.
Amazing.
And she's been on EMP for quite some time. And when she became pregnant, she thought, okay, maybe I should come off EMP and go on to a prenatal. And she soon found that the prenatal just wasn't sufficient enough for her in areas. And so with the help of her midwives and her medical practitioner, they decided that she could actually stay with EMP. Of course, they looked at changing her iron intake and her folic acid intake, but she's actually maintained an extremely healthy pregnancy. And of course, I'm going to have the smartest grandchild on the planet because of EMP. But she went through her whole pregnancy with EMP and just felt wonderful.
That's wonderful. Yeah, my wife as well, with our first child, took EMP through her pregnancy, and we have a incredibly energetic, rambunctious, beautiful, healthy-looking child. And yeah, absolutely, pregnancy can be quite a tricky stage, and getting the right supplements that are easily absorbable. Obviously, we're not what we eat; we're what we absorb. So making sure that product is something that your body's going to be able to uptake and utilize is obviously very important. Yeah, I hope your daughter doesn't go into labor in the next 20 minutes, but that's exciting.
Thank you.
So with 30 plus years in the industry, have you seen anything be as effective as EMP Power Plus in regards to, as you say, like it's kind of a go-to at Nature's Fair for supporting mental health?
I've had the opportunity to sell many products, and there's lots of different products that help a lot of people for mental health. Absolutely. There's some single and some combination formulas that I often recommend. But I can honestly say I haven't seen anything work as well as EMP for mental health. I don't even think I've ever had a return on EMP now that I think about it. I mean, I don't ever remember someone coming back and saying, this is amazing for me to say this, actually. I don't think I've ever had anybody come back and say, this product doesn't work for me, or I had an adverse reaction. I'm just going back in my memory bank right now, and I can honestly say I haven't. Um, I The other thing that I've seen with EMP, probably more than a lot of products that do also work well, is I don't think I've seen anything work as quickly as EMP. So many times people come back within a very short period. Now, I don't want to send false messages out there. Some people, it'll take quite some time. It just depends on the person's body or how long they've been dealing with their challenge. But so many times people come back, just like my experience, within a few days and say, oh my goodness, I can't believe how well I feel. I've also seen a lot of people come off pharmaceutical drugs with the help of their practitioners in a very healthy way, slowly diminishing their pharmaceutical drug intake and increasing EMP, again, with the help of their doctor. And that's been very, very impressive. And I've seen that more with EMP than anything else.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And as we kind of spoke about before, EMP has got it's so absorbable that we use, the ingredients are very, very specific, and the dosaging is very, very specific because, we want that product to be, you get home, you start taking it and it be effective. Yeah, I've heard people say that the same day they've felt just a little bit different and a little bit better. And that just goes to show that, this product really does work.
Yes, let me also add that, often if we're out of a certain vitamin C on the shelf, it's maybe disconcerting for the customer, but mostly we can find something else very similar, suitable for them. But with EMP, we never want to be out on the shelf because we can't say, oh, that's okay, we'll just give you this. It's like, no, EMP or nothing for many, many people.
That's wonderful. And it sounds like you probably get pretty good responses for our products in your store.
Absolutely. We have a lot of people that come in, we recommend it, they get good results, and then they tell their friends and family, and then those people come in and say, oh, my friend was in, you recommended this product, where is it? What can you tell me about it? Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, a couple of years ago, Truehope Canada, we created an online university where employees in retail stores can learn more about our products. They can actually take quizzes to help reaffirm their learning and hear from our customers on just how our products have changed their lives in so many different ways. I've had the pleasure of going to shows and recording people tell us their story about their life before EMP, their life afterwards. And for the same product, the story is always wildly different, which just goes to show this product can really support so many different people. Have you done the Truehope University training, and what did you think of it?
Absolutely, I've done it. People know me as being an information junkie, but I just think the more information I have, of course, the better I can help other people. I took the program. I thought it was excellent. What I really liked about it was easy to comprehend. It was very informative and yet very professional. I would recommend it. In fact, I did recommend it to all my staff. I was actually working at the store at that time. And I would never recommend anything to my staff that I first wouldn't try myself. So I went through it, and then I told all the staff, oh my goodness, everybody needs to take this education. And it's just valuable. One of the things that you'll find with Nature's Fair, I will say, is that the staff is very well educated and very passionate about increasing their knowledge of products and product lines. And so I know that all my staff at the Vernon store took this training. And what we saw is just a really an increase in able to help people even in a better way, a more informative way. And it's a really good program, very well put together, like I said.
Beautiful. Yeah. Here at Truehope Canada, we're obviously all about making great quality products to help people, but that's sometimes just not enough. There is a lot of products out there and a lot of companies, and it's our duty to make sure that the people who are on the store floor have got the knowledge and got the skills to be able to talk a little bit extra about our products in order to really connect with what that customer's telling them. And I kind of headed up that project, and I saw a lot of Nature's Fair employees coming onto it, which is wonderful.
I think not only, the information about the products were important, but also the story behind the product. Most people in our industry, in the natural health industry, we're known as very touchy-feely people, and we're all about heartfelt stories. And we like to know the story behind the company, of the products that we represent and promote. And Truehope has an amazing story. And for me, when I was helping customers, I would always direct them. I would explain a little bit about the story, direct them to the website so that they could understand why this particular product came about. That's very, very important. And also that people could understand the family behind this product and just their authenticity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a remarkable story, and it's got many different layers over many different years. And if you're unfamiliar with it, you can actually go and listen to a podcast we did a couple of weeks ago with David Steffen, and it's a really wonderful story, and he'll tell you all about it. So make sure you go and check out that episode. But if you're lucky to live in BC and you've got a Nature's Fair close by, you can visit a store and go and check it out for yourself, and you'll know what I mean when I say you go in there and you feel really well taken care of, and the energy in that place is wonderful. Before I got a coffee machine at home, I was looking at the clock, waiting for 8:00 to be able to drive down and get a coffee and say hi to everyone. But
they were waiting for you too.
Probably, yeah. But they've got some really amazing on their website, naturesfair.com, really amazing health tips. Their in-store magazine is awesome as well. I really get a lot of good information from that, some good recipes, some really good articles on supporting your health, and it's very, very seasonal. So it's very, depending on the time of year, the information is spot on. They're also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You just need to search Nature's Fair, and they've got a really great marketing team that's doing a really great job, really beautiful social media pages. But thank you again, Stephanie, for being with us and talking to us today, taking the time to share about your experiences with EMP and Truehope. And obviously, I'm super happy that you're in the position that you are at Nature's Fair to make sure that people are getting the right information and getting the right products. So thank you so much for taking the time again today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. For more information about anything that we've spoken about in this episode, please check out the show notes. Thank you so much for listening. This is Truehope Cast, the official podcast of Truehope Canada. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.